speaking of how leftism has totally perverted our society in every single way possible, turns out that George Floyd memes are just illegal in the United Kingdom now, which is something I didn't know about because I've shared a few of them myself, so I'm going to have to go delete those. Oh, no. Thankfully, Instagram censored one of mine the other day.
We should probably state the law first. So the law in the UK, and I can't believe this is fucking real, it is illegal in the UK to post something online which is grossly offensive.
Section 127 of the Communications Act 2003.
Thank
you, Tony Blair. Thanks for not repealing that, Boris. That's very conservative of you.
I keep Tony Blair's hate speech laws. I'm a conservative. There's one thing you should get rid of. It's that on day one.
Yeah. But there are lots of other things you should get rid of, and we could give you a list if you want, Boris.
But this is most famous because of Count Dankula with his Nazi pug case, all that. But it doesn't end there. It never ends there.
Now it's got the police. Now a police officer has fallen foul of Section 127. This is a man called Geraint Jones, 47, who is a custody sergeant in Torquay, which is a nice town in Cornwall. It's just some, again, backwater place in the southwest where nothing much happens. This is what's great about the southwest of England, is it's just rural, mostly. Nothing much. We campaigned in Torquay.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Pretty sure, isn't it the place that the William of Orange landed to take over Britain as well? That's like the only thing in history it has that's of major significance.
I would have thought he'd landed in the east.
No, I'm pretty sure he landed in Torquay because there was literally no opposition because everyone loved him anyway.
Right, okay, I'd have to look it up.
Anyway,
correct
me if I'm wrong.
But yeah, no. But the point is, it's a small sort of quiet area of very nice, patient, quiet people who don't really do much and don't cause much trouble for other people, and that's why they're getting in trouble from progressive laws now.
Yeah, a slice of paradise.
Yeah, it is a slice of paradise, frankly. And I've lived in the southwest for years now. I like it here. Yeah. I don't want it to become Portland.
But don't worry, the leftists have come in to shit up the place and decide that anyone who shares a meme they don't like needs to go to jail.
Yes. Anyway, he had shared this a meme. Which was a picture of George Floyd being pinned to the ground by Derek Chauvin, where Derek Chauvin had been replaced with a naked black man of internet fame. And this was offensive. He said the issue of whether the image had a racial angle never entered his mind and was intended to amuse his colleagues rather than cause offence. Plymouth Magistrates Court heard that the officer had forwarded the meme to a WhatsApp group of 8 other people, including 6 police officers, after being sent it by a friend. 2 members of the WhatsApp group turned out to be disgusting narcs. And I can't believe the cops are full of narcs. What are the odds? Yeah. Who replied? But 2 members replied with laughing emojis. Presumably they're under investigation. And but one member complained. Sorry, there's only one member who was a narc. One member complained about the image, and Jones referred to the force's professional standards department. This guy served on the police for 23 years. 23 years service. One meme. He's probably going to get fired. I mean, he's just been charged for sending it.
There's a question here of police conduct, shall we say? You could argue, because if this is a police WhatsApp chat, for example.
Well, it's not. There's a non-police officer in it.
Oh, in which case
it's just that they happen.
It's just his mates.
Yeah, they happen to be friends, and one of them wasn't a police officer, and one of them was a disgusting narc who should be shamed.
So now he's on charge. He's going to be charged with a crime. I think the sentencing for Section 127 is you can get up to 6 months in prison and an unlimited fine are the sentencing guidelines.
Yep.
And then you can put them as adequately as the judge thinks, which is just up to him.
Yep.
So apparently a pug doing a Nazi salute is worth 800 quid. I'm sure this meme is probably worth at least a few hundred. Probably. It's a bit more offensive,
I think it's way more offensive.
So you got to get the high score. So he might get a higher score than Dankula, and then Dankula's going to outdo him.
Yeah, I mean, this at least with Danks, they can't be like, well, that's too soon. I mean, it happened 80 years ago, so yeah. But this was fairly recent. But anyway, he's serving officer for 23 years, charged with sending a grossly offensive image contrary to the 2003 Communications Act, and following an investigation by the Independent Office for Police Conduct. That's right, sharing a meme gets you referred to the Independent Office for Police Conduct. He denies the charge, but he did send the meme, and whether something is offensive or not is not up to him.
It's not up to you, comrade.
Yeah, so you can deny that charge all you want.
It's not even up to your friends in that chat, actually.
No, it's
up to the
not.
judge.
Exactly. It's nothing to do with you anymore. He says, I knew the meme was going viral at the time, and I'd seen it in various shapes and forms. I saw the comedy of it because I found the character amusing wherever he turns up. Maybe I was after a cheap laugh or trying to raise a smile. I didn't think about it deeply, and I didn't look at the image in detail. Well, there we go. Sharing a meme that you didn't think about in detail, in deeply, trying to raise a cheap laugh out of your mates can ruin your career.
That's the world we live in.
That's the world, and
normal
get you with a
free
criminal
country
record.
things, you know?
Yeah, an otherwise unblemished record of service, public service, is now going to find you being rendered a criminal and unable to serve because of this meme. He continued, I never envisaged that I would end up in court. Well, who does? Who thinks they're going to end up in court over a meme? I know there must be tens of thousands of people who shared it humorously, thinking probably hundreds of thousands. We don't want to run the risk of criminalizing all those people. Well, that's too late. We've already done that. That was done in 2003. All of those people were criminalized years ago now.
That's also your viewpoint that you don't want to criminalize hundreds of thousands of people. The left-wing people in this country disagree, my friend.
Tony Blair's like, nope, that's wrong. We've got loads of criminals out there sharing illegal memes. We need to deal with that.
Take them down.
Lee Bainbridge, prosecuting, says the prosecution case is that such an image sent at that time was liable to cause gross offence, namely to those in the black and ethnic minority community.
Who didn't see it?
So Lee Bainbridge, who I'm going to guess is not from the ethnic minority community, is going to take offence on behalf of black people and the ethnic minority community. For some reason,
but also
non-black people are also offended by this image.
But the
of people who didn't see it.
But it was sent to a WhatsApp chat of 8 people.
Yeah.
I mean, how many members of the black and Asian minority community were inside that WhatsApp chat?
What, in a Torquay local police WhatsApp chat? Yeah. Probably not many.
Of the several million, how many of them were offended by him sending that to that chat?
0, probably.
So,
I mean, we've got no evidence that someone who can be counted from the BAME community is offended by this, and that is the only standard that is required at this point.
Well, you also don't have any evidence that they also wouldn't find it funny.
That's true. We are going to show you the offending image, though we have censored the appropriate parts. Avert your gaze if you happen to be a narc.
Let's get the image up.
I mean,
that's the meme.
That got a cheap laugh out of me, I'm not going to lie.
That's you're doing time if you share something as gross as this.
Yeah.
I hate this country. I actually hate it. Because the worst thing I can't get over is how the Tories just let this stand as well. This would be number one of things you need to get rid of.
They could do anything they wanted about this. They could repeal this tomorrow. They just put a bill up, repeal it. They've got the overwhelming majority. Just get it done in a day. Anyway, this is not the only person who has been arrested or at least been in trouble for sharing offensive memes. There have been some examples from our American cousins, because apparently George Floyd is a fucking saint, and now profaning his image and likeness is tantamount in Britain to a criminal charge, but in America it'll just lose you your job. Right, so this is Trinity County in California, where a deputy posted an offensive George Floyd meme on Instagram, the same George Floyd meme, incidentally. So it's the same meme that got this guy fired from the local police office. He was no longer employed as effective of June the 5th, 2020, so this is a little while ago, but he got fired. They learned the Trinity County Sheriff's Office learned of the inappropriate discriminatory meme.
Who's it discriminating against?
George Floyd. Saint Floyd.
But it's not racial discrimination if a black man does it.
People who are fentanyl enriched.
Oh boy.
John sniggering in the corner. The meme. So, I'm just saying it's a discriminatory meme. It was put on his Instagram. He got fired. And there's another case from the LAPD who have announced that they are looking into reports that officers allegedly circulated a Valentine's Day image that mocked George Floyd's death. The post allegedly said that it was Floyd's face with the caption, "You take my breath away." It was a Valentine's Day card meme.
How dare people share these memes?
Yeah.
It embarrasses the party. Shut it down.
I just can't get over it. It's just mad.
But there's the thing. With the United States, it's sort of like...
At least you're not going to jail over it.
Yeah, like people lose their jobs. I mean, you're in a police department. I can imagine there can be an argument here of it's a little bit unprofessional.
Totally.
I mean, especially in
it's
regards...
rude, you know. I mean, if you're a cop in America, don't share a meme. For the love of God.
Especially if you were in the police department where this guy was.
Well, they're not. It was in Minneapolis.
I know, right? But there's an argument about inappropriate behavior. But of the guy in the UK, what is the argument? I mean, what is the argument there? Otherwise, that it's blasphemy against George Floyd and leftism. That
Which
this
is what
guy
it
must be
is.
sent to court.
And that's it. That's what it is. It's blasphemy against George Floyd. Saint Floyd. The patron saint of armed robberies against pregnant women. As the Vicky now laughing in the corner.
Was she blaspheme like this every episode, Carl?
I'm not blaspheming. I've not said anything against George Floyd. These people did.
Which is why they're getting sent to jail, and this is apparently going to be okay.
Which is why this is just
God,
the
I
new
hope.
normal. Don't blaspheme. There was another. I forgot to put it in this. There was another one where someone had defaced some art of George Floyd that was in Britain, and they had found themselves running afoul of the law.
Well, the cops arrested them.
Yes.
Because the exact same thing happened in Poland when someone defaced a Christian symbol.
Yeah.
Blasphemy
So
against
George Floyd is essentially
Jesus,
the
he actually is a
progressive.
saint.
The more than that, he's the progressive equivalent of Christ himself. He didn't rise after 3 days, of course.
Didn't redeem himself either. So.
No, he didn't redeem the sins of the world either. There is a direct left-wing comparison there. But yeah, so it's just, I mean, like,
So John's just loaded up the link here.
Oh, really?
Oh, interesting. So apparently the BBC deleted the story. I
Right,
assume
okay.
after they realised how embarrassing this was.
Yes, but the George Floyd Manchester mural was defaced by racists. How do you know? How do you know it's racist? A local councillor in Manchester says defaced by racists for a second time. It had a racist slur sprayed on it in July. I wonder what that slur was. I bet it was entertaining. But this is the way things are going. There are now a sort of progressive pantheon of saints that you aren't allowed to make jokes about, because Lee Hurst is an example of this. This is just the last thing we'll end on. Who's a comedian who's suspended from Twitter because he made a joke about Greta Thunberg,
Another saint.
another left-wing saint, not martyr, but still living saint. He's a panelist for They Think It's All Over. He had tweeted, as soon as Greta discovers cock, she'll stop complaining about the single-use plastic it's wrapped in. Pretty funny, don't get me wrong.
Oh, boy.
The tweet was reported, and the joke got him suspended from Twitter. Twitter's like, how dare you
what?
make a joke about an adult woman?
Bullying her. Like
Dunno.
she's an adult as well. I know she
Yeah.
still looks like a child because of the way
yeah.
her handlers dress up, but nah, that's not. I love the chat as well. Just like, well, that is funny. So
So Twitter were like, boof, bang. But he was interviewed by the Daily Star about this, and he said he
how
appealed.
dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy.
God, I was going to make a joke then, but I'm not going to do it.
I look forward to going to the gulag and meeting that cop. We can share memes.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a joke about bareback. Anyway,
What?
no. Gold tier memes there, yeah. Anyway, in an interview,
Drive for better memes.
in an interview with the Daily Star, Hurst said that he had appealed his suspension, but doesn't regret sending out the crude tweet in the first place. I've appealed but heard nothing yet. But if I'm binned permanently, then I suppose I'm glad I was binned for writing a gag than having a rant, which is fair. But that's where we are. There is a progressive pantheon of intersectional saints whom you're not allowed to mock on social media for fear of either suspension or being outright criminalized or fired from your job. And there is no such thing on the right. Like any right-wing personality, if you go to a progressive space and look at the way that they're talking about, like the things they say about like Katie Hopkins or Lord Voldemort or any conservative politician, like they're really disgusting things. And okay, fine, you guys enjoy yourselves. I'm totally for your ability to make these horrible things. They're not for my taste, but I don't want them criminalized. And the reverse is not reciprocated.
This is the thing I can't get over as well with that first one. So the Twitter one, okay, yeah, it's Twitter. It's the police losing their jobs, also bad. But there's arguments there.
Sure.
The one with the cop going to jail though,
He
come on,
hasn't-
defend it, leftists. Come out here and tell me there's no free speech crisis in the UK when we're literally sending people to jail for memes.
Yeah, but that meme was offensive. It was a
can't get over it. I
racist
don't
meme
understand
somehow.
how we. No, but you can know Owen Jones. Like we did
Yeah.
his stream the other day where he's arguing there's no free speech crisis in the UK. This is something conservatives make up. We have laws on the books that literally criminalise people making memes, for Christ's sake.
But have you considered that they affect right-wingers and not left-wingers?
That's the thing. People have got to start this. See, this is the thing as well. I know people always argue, oh, we shouldn't adopt leftist tactics because then it makes us as bad as them. But, it's the law. It applies to everyone.
I think...
So any leftist saying anything grossly offensive to right-wing morality,
yeah.
why not lock them up?
Report it to the police.
What is the argument?
Spam the police with reports of, look, this was an offensive meme, this was an offensive meme, this was an offensive meme.
My free speech rights, says Owens Jones.
Yeah,
It's
go on, I'm looking forward to it.
whatever. Join the cop in the gulag. Bye-bye.
Or you can join our free speech protests if you want, Owen. If you're so concerned about our ancient rights and liberties, which we know you're not. It's disgraceful.
Sorry,
No, I hate it. And I hate the fact that the Portland, and again, when we say American, we mean American leftists, obviously. We understand, of course, that there are many, many millions of base Trump-supporting Americans who despise the left-wing politics of Portland and California and New York, and absolutely despise the way that all of this is going. They despise the fact that we have hate speech laws in Britain and communications laws in Britain like we have. We understand that that's the case, but Macron is right when he says that this is an American invention, because it is. And unfortunately, it is being exported. But don't worry, our American friends, we don't blame you, we blame the communists.
There is also something a little bit smart in the, let's say, insular part of culture here, which,
yes.
If you can denounce it as Yankee imperialist garbage, which it is, because it comes from Yankee campuses, well then how are our local leftists meant to oppose this?
Yes.
In which we say get rid of it?
Yes.
Because it's imperialism. It is cultural imperialism. Get it out.
There's moreover, it's cultural appropriation. Can't be doing that either.
Well, the French, sure.
Exactly. Well, from the Americans too.
Yeah.
So we've got lots of vectors by which we can attack this practice, and we should. If you enjoyed this segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can watch the full broadcast live every weekday at 1 p.m. UK time on lotuseaters.com.